yeah, I'm from the Netherlands, so I came all the way from, how many miles away.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I already knew some people before coming here. But it was so amazing just meeting everyone here. There's such a diversity of people. I think the community, like there's such a safe space to develop yourself, to share everything, to understand each other. I see such an impact in terms of like people just really understanding people they have had like such, or personality types they've had like really sort of struggle with in life, and really starting to understand like, oh, this is why they're doing that. This is why they're doing.
So you had lots of insights into other personality types.
100%, yeah, 100%.
When you get here, you build so many friendships that when you're here, you have that communication and that conversation with people that it allows for that openness when you're profiling.
There was quite a lot of people who I spoke to who felt quite anxious about like, oh, I don't know anybody here. And I just mentioned that I did knew some people already. Like there's some INFPs, for example, they were like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna mix and blah, blah. Like the INFPs have been like the most outgoing at this event. They're talking to everyone.
I'm very quiet, very reserved, but having people be receptive to that and kind of an understanding of that and reaching out to me, kind of drawing me out of my shell. And then just a few of those interactions made it easier for me to step forward and come out of my shell.
And now we're getting ready for the live profiling session, which you'll be profiling someone live. And how do you feel about going into that? You feel confident? You feel good?
I'm feeling decently confident. I'm always scared that I might not give someone their best fit type, but it's also not about that, and they know that.
Yeah, I'm nervous for sure, but I think it's a really supportive environment. So I feel like totally backed by everyone, and like I don't see the point of it as getting it right. I think Antonia said that to us, like you don't have to get it right. The point is to just go through the process here. And in fact, like here's probably the best place to get it wrong. So
well said.
I feel confident that regardless of whether I get it right or not, that it's going to be a good experience, and it's going to be a learning experience for both me and whoever I get it paired with. Yeah.
And part of like the profiling session is the conversation, the back and forth. How was it like with the volunteer? How was it like in just a general experience?
It was way more smooth than I expected. Just going into it knowing that I'm talking to a person and this person's interesting. And going into that with that attitude, it's like any conversation you have in normal life, almost. You're just trying to get to know them more. It was really quite natural.
So I was a little nervous about, making sure I could talk about the content and make sure I was being accurate with the content. But as I got into it, as we got through the initial just setting the tone and talking with her, I became really relaxed. And then it was more of just a mutual exchange it was a conversation weaving in and out what we've been learning all week. And then I just got super comfortable.
Yeah.
And then we just talked, and what I do for a living, I do a lot of this, just interviewing and stuff for a living. So it was a great experience. It was just a lot of fun.
I expected to be incredibly nervous and unprepared. And when I got through it, it felt like such a seamless transaction. I knew all the material because Personality Hacker, Joel and Antonio teach you everything from start to finish. So it was a completely invigorating experience, and I'm so happy I did it.
I expected to kind of get lost a bit more than I did in the process, although it was said, it was so much more seamless than I expected it to be. Things just came up as I was going. And I didn't really have to reference, I thought I was going to have to reference more of my notes, but I was just able to kind of get into the process because we do such a good job at like addressing these things before we go into it that it just came to me.
Day one of the embodiment exercise, I had so much more information, so much more knowledge about things, even the functions that I resonate with. I was surprised at how much more insight I gained, even coming from a frame of thinking that I had so much knowledge about it. Just being around other people and getting that interaction, even though it was kind of seemed like the same material, it was different, and it was more expansive, and it brought so much more insight into myself, and then also into my wife, who's a complete opposite type of me.
Yeah, it's really crazy to really live all of the functions and see what your relationship is to them. There's this weird like, oh, this is why people are doing that? Like, I can't do this. Like, what? And that's something that I just couldn't get from home.
And that was one of the things, that Joel said, rule we talked about at the beginning of the week is like, we're here to have fun, we're here. And so, that, I'm glad he said that, because that reminded me last night. It's just, hey, if you just have a conversation and that's all you have, then great. And that really kind of settled my nerves a little bit. But it was a really good interview, and she was very open and patient, and so I really enjoyed the experience.
Having Melissa's guidance throughout, advanced profiling has really helped me to like slow myself down, not to make assumptions too quickly, try to keep things as open as possible. It's a lot easier on your mind. You're not just, I gotta go, I gotta do all these things quickly. And all the experience from doing profiling that you get from the class really helps round you out as a profiler.
Everyone here has a spot. And everyone, like, there's not one single person that doesn't learn anything about themselves. I would say, like, they learn a lot about themselves and how to integrate every function they use into their lives and understand all of the other functions that are out there.
The experience live is just so valuable, like being here, it's so valuable. And there's such a benefit to getting to really experience all the cognitive functions in the way that they do here, like really a visceral experience of them. And then also the container and the support to really take action with like understanding all of this material. And there's something really special about the container for that. So rather than maybe if you're like reading it or you're learning it on your own or even like watching videos and stuff, there's something about being with the people and the stewardship and the guidance from Joel and Antonia, and then like the support to just go for it and do it. Because even though like I can do that at home, like I was getting tripped up in the little places, and I feel like just being here really helped me push through some of the places that I was feeling challenged.
You want a system, if you want a methodology, a framework for getting to know yourself deeply and also help others to do the same, then this is one of the best options out there and the best that I found. And having like a system, having it be rigorous is really important.
I feel super inspired after watching Joel and Antonia just kind of like live their truth and be in their driver function and design their life in a way that allows them to do that. And it was like really cool to not only learn from them, but see them doing it. They're not just saying it, they're doing it all the time. And I felt like that was really inspiring for me to follow my own driver function once I figure out what that is.